Dining with Joy is about a cooking show host who can't cook. And through a set of natural and emotional circumstances, she finds herself filling her father's shoes on his cooking show, Dining with Charles, when he dies suddenly. I got this idea from my friend Erin Heinley. No, I'm just kidding. I stole it from my sister. Yeah, no. Several years ago, I was trying to think of what's a high concept story that I can tell. So I was just trying to think, what can a girl do? How could she be in a situation that's not natural to her? Like I wrote a book about a songwriter who was afraid to sing in front of people. So I just thought, what if you were on a cooking show and you couldn't cook? And so the idea just kind of developed from there. And I was going to put this idea in the book, Sweet Caroline, but as I developed that story, it just became too much of a premise. The premise was larger than the character. So I had to take it out. Later, when I was talking with my editor about writing a third Low Country book, we came up with this idea, and she said, what happened to the cooking show host who can't cook? So we have Dining with Joy. Joy just became a character all on her own as I tried to figure out what kind of woman is a cooking show host who cannot cook. Why does she do it? How come she didn't learn to cook? All of her emotional baggage and all of her talents, all her strengths and weaknesses just started to come alive on the page. So Joy is really a lot of her own person. We share some things in common. I'm not a big fan of cooking. I can cook, I'm better than Joy, but some of my own experiences with cooking have come out through her character. But Joy is a collegiate softball player. So I went to Sarah Evans' fan party and I met a woman named Kelsey Dunn, who's the star pitcher of the University of Alabama's softball team. So that was kind of like this God kiss on my heart that, yes, Joy should be a softball player, because I've never met a collegiate softball player. I don't know anybody who plays softball, and there was Kelsey Dunn. Kelsey is just an inspiration. I've become friends with her through the course of writing Dining with Joy. I interviewed her about what it was like to be a collegiate athlete. And so she is inspired those deeper things in Joy that make her strong, that make her push through, that make her a winner. And Joy's appearance and charm is a lot based on Kelsey. So she was a good inspiration for me. It's fun to meet her. Luke is the hero of the story, and he's a true hero. He's his own character. I didn't have any particular person in mind when I wrote his character, although I was thinking of Luke Danes, who was the diner owner on the television show Gilmore Girls. So I kind of had him in the back of my mind. But Luke is just his own guy. He's very unique. He's a Midwestern rancher who turned Manhattan chef. So what kind of guy is that? Why does a rancher learn to cook in a fine place like Manhattan? So he kind of developed off on his own, but I think we all love heroes. Joy needed a hero. We all need a champion. Luke was Joy's champion. So he became this great hero on the page, and he's just all his own guy. There's a recipe in Dining with Joy called Rachel's Bechamel sausage. And as I was researching Dining with Joy, I became very fascinated with the word bechamel. Like, what is this bechamel sauce? What is this? I saw Bobby Flay talking about it. I read about it in Julia Child's book. What is this bechamel sauce? So I decided to make it. And I actually had the ingredients in my home, flour, butter, and milk. Almost everybody has that. And once I made it, I realized, well, this is pretty cool. I can't throw it out. So I said I have to do something with it. So I looked in my refrigerator and I had some sausage that needed to be cooked, and I decided, well, I get some peppers and onions and throw it in with the sausage and cook it all together and pour the sauce over it. So, well, what else can I add? So I added a can of stewed tomatoes, and it is an amazing dish. I recommend it. So that recipe is in the back of Dining with Joy. It's called Rachel's Bechamel, and I think you'll really like it. We need food naturally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I was trying to put in some of those layers as I was writing this story. So I learned a lot about the importance of food and the importance of sustenance while writing it. So it was a fascinating journey for me. I want readers to take away from this book that life is a journey, and that you have good seasons and bad seasons. You have difficult seasons, you have smooth seasons, you have times when you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it. I think for a lot of women, they find themselves doing jobs or taking care of people or taking care of situations that they have no idea, why am I doing this? You know, Joy is not skilled at being a cook. So why is she hosting a cooking show? She has all the other aspects. She's great in front of the camera. She's talented. But why is she doing this? How did she end up in this job? This job ultimately leads her to her ultimate destiny. So I want people to take away from this book that it's a journey, but that God has a plan, that you have a destiny, and you just keep seeking Him. He'll unlock your destiny. And just like Joy, you'll end up in a place of love and peace, or where you're supposed to be. So I hope that they take away a lot of hope from this story.
It's hot.
It's good. Thank you. It's a little more peppery than